Hello everyone, my name is Jessica and welcome to this mid-year bullet journal migration video. For the first half of 2019, I used a Navy A5 Scribbles That Matter journal and it has been my favorite so far. Here's a quick flip through of January to June. You can see there are several spreads I didn't end up filling out throughout the year. To plan my new layout, I made a quick page in my current journal of spreads to keep, chuck, and add, as well as thumbnails of the new layout after seeing Amanda Rach Lee do the same. I am so excited to start using my Archer and Olive dot grid notebook, and I did a quick watercolor test in the back to see how it handled a bigger wash and some smaller brush strokes. For these spreads, I wanted to do floral line art and neutral tones, so I picked Moonglow by Daniel Smith to be my accent color. I'm starting with creating a key and using my Pigma Micron in 0.25mm for all of the line art. If you'd like to do the same media, you need an archival pen as well. I'm using masking tape from the dollar store to block off a square in the middle for my various icons in my key. To create these flowers, I sketched them in pencil first and then I loosely outlined them in pen. I wouldn't worry too much about exactly recreating your pencil sketch because it's an organic shape and it's alright if it's not perfect. Once I completed the outlines, I took my Princeton Neptune size 12 round brush and a decent pigment concentration of Moonglow to do a wash over the flowers. It did warp the page a bit, but it should flatten after being closed to my journal for a while. The next spread I wanted to make was the grid layout page that Amanda Rach Lee also uses in her Archer and Olive. Since the number of squares has changed from my Scribbles That Matter, this page will be very useful for setting up my spreads moving forward. I wanted to do a simple 2019 introduction page again, so I followed the same methods as my key spread to add more florals. I then used my Tombow Dual Art brush pen in N45 for 2019 and a heat gun from Amazon to dry the spread. I also then decided to add some white gel pen accents to add highlights to both spreads. One of the spreads I wanted to keep were my future log pages, so I transferred over important dates in pencil. I'm using my Pigma Micron for the calendars and my Tombow for the headers. I'm also outlining all my header fonts in these spreads with my Pilot Silver Gel pen. I had to alternate which pens I was using doing these spreads since my hand kept cramping doing the tiny calendars, but I like how it all turned out. Since I run a show circuit and it goes September to March, I also wanted to have the first 6 months of 2020 to make sure I have all the important dates easily accessible throughout the fall term. I used the same methods and I also added white accents with my Uni-Ball Signo gel pen. I wanted to split up my goal page a bit more than I did in my previous journal, so I have an entire page for personal goals and a page for business goals. I used my Tombow and Silver Pilot for the large headers and my gray Pentel sign pen for the subheaders. I created the dashed page dividers with my Staedtler Fineliner pen and outlined the banners with my Tombow, alternating line widths like I would with brush lettering. I used my Silver Pilot gel pen to fill in the little leaf accents, add outlines to the top of the banners, and for the section titles. I split my personal goals into categories and my business goals into 2-month chunks. I also liked having a savings goal spread, and since I have my student loan payments coming up once I complete my master's, it's probably something that should stay in my journal as a reminder. I decided to do a larger flat wash over top of these florals, and I did more white accents with my gel pen. I wanted to use washi tape to fill in these progress bars again, and I wasn't sure which one I wanted to use until I found this silver tape I got from Dollarama. Since it's wider than what I originally sketched out, I will be returning to this spread later when my hand hurts less to complete it. At this point I realized in typical fashion I wanted washi on everything, so I took this thinner silver washi from a Christmas set from Michaels and I used it to accent each of my pages. I also added a page title to the grid page and more washi. Next, I wanted to create a space for Instagram and YouTube milestones, so I started by outlining this more vine leaf arrangement with my Pigma Micron. I added more washi to my headers, and then I painted each vine with Moonglow. I left pools of paint on purpose since I wanted to have the layers of paint concentration within the leaves once it dried. I used my Staedtler Fineliner to outline the progress boxes on both spreads and my Uni-Ball to touch up one of my lines. Next up, I wanted a video planner and progress tracker spread, so I have a space to write down video ideas and note completion of the various production stages. I used my Staedtler Fineliner for the column lines, and I did the same method for the leaves at the bottom of the page. This next spread is essentially the same idea as my video planner, but it's focused on product releases from my Etsy shop. For the foreseeable future, I will be focusing on downloadable items, but my long-term goal is to be manufacturing items myself for sale. My last functional page is a space for my ideal day. I usually created this every month, but I wanted to try out more of a block scheduling kind of deal, and I'll be using Post-its so I can rearrange my idea schedule each month or as needed. I used my silver Pilot gel pen for the leaves and header outline, Tombow for the brush lettering, and my Staedtler for the timeline in the middle and hours. I wanted to end this setup with a quote, and I picked one I felt suited my brain lately, especially since it took me a while to decide how I wanted to fill in the banner. I ended up deciding to use a wash of Moonglow, leaving more pigment in the bottom half to add some depth, and on the leaves and lines. I really liked how this pigment has so many tones, and you can really see it pull teal on this page. I used my Tombow for the big lettering and my Staedtler for the finer fonts. I then went back and added some more silver accent to my pages with my Pilot gel pen, a bit more washi, and then erased my pencil lines now that it was all dry. All in all, I'm pretty happy with how these spreads turned out in the new journal. My only complaint so far is a bit random, and it's I wish the pen loop was a bit higher on the journal, since taller, thinner pens might hang past the bottom if you have the pen clip around the band. I can't wait to post my July spreads this week and use more watercolor in my bullet journal without destroying it. As always, a list of my supplies and order of appearance will be in the description below. You can follow me on Instagram for posts throughout the week, and you can check out my Etsy shop for lettering and planner principles. Thank you for watching.